Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning trading room. I hope everyone had an enjoyable weekend. I know I say this all the time, but why are weekends so short? Either that or I'm just too darn busy. All right, let's take a look here. What's going on with the daily NASDAQ? It's always nice to have a bit of an overview, see what the market's doing, where it's been. Couple of areas of significance. Well, we've got these trend lines that you see I shot across the bottom, both of which are significant. We anticipated the market coming down here, tapping the 7,600 area, and it looks like it's on its way to do that. Relative to where we closed on Friday, you can see we're open with a little bit of a gap to the downside. And the shallower trend line here near 7,500, which would also reinforce this sideways trading range that seems to be building. Not unusual for a market to enter a trading range before either continuing with the major trend or perhaps even reversing. How is that for calling the market? Hey, it could go higher, but it might go lower. Gee, I could be a weatherman. All right. Here now on the Eagle, we'll take a look at what's going on, and the overnight, a little bit of a bearish bent to it. I'm not sure we've got our first in-sync signal of the day yet. If this develops into a sell signal, I suppose that would be it. I don't do a lot of first signals, but this tends to work out with the Eagle more often than not. All right, let's try it here this morning. So and you can do this, you Raptor traders and Falcon traders don't need to feel left out. You can do this with yours as well. All you're looking for is your first in-sync signal, and there it is. So we have a very slightly bearish trading band. And this is the first signal of the day. And we'll be looking now for the market to get down here, hit our profit target. This is a trade that tends to work more often than not. I'll leave it to you to actually go back through the history of the chart and prove it to yourself rather than taking my word for it. Oh, watch this. This will be the day that it makes a liar out of me. And you know what? That seems to happen more often than not. When I demonstrate the first in-sync Eagle signal in the room, it backs up and tags me. You stinkers. All right, well, let's put that on the shelf. Normally what I like to do is I like to let the market sort itself out. I like to let the market try to develop something in the way of a trend before I get too excited. And very often that will mean leaving the market alone for opening range. Opening range tends to be that first half hour, 45 minutes of trading. See, look at this. Had I kept a proper stop, 2 swings back. Oh, I hate it when they do that. Just to add a little insult to the injury. Why don't you? So I was right and I was wrong all at the same time. We're a little bit conflicted here, aren't we? Kind of making a bit of a sideways mess of things. Oh, while I remember, folks, I've got to head out of town for the rest of the week. My apologies. I'm not going to be able to host the trading room for the remainder of the week. This is a rare occurrence, but just kind of came up last minute. I'll remind you again before we close the trading room, but yeah, no trading room for the remainder of the week, sorry to say. Well, that's quite the seesaw we got going on here right now. Just retracing the same numbers, really. I wouldn't have got my trade to the profit target, but on the little hiccup here, I probably would have brought my trade down to break even. So I would have got tagged there. It looks like they're going to try it again. I don't like to see the cloud waffling so much. Your best signals are when the cloud is already established. This will be true of the Raptor as well. Although the Raptor being a little bit faster, we do have the advantage of trying to get that early cloud crossover signal sometimes, anticipating what the market may do. And here they go. They're starting to slip lower now. So stinkers. That's all right. We'll get it back. We're kind of testing the bottom end of the range now. Still don't have anything defined as a trend. Oh yes, Aspen, you are so correct. Aspen says it hurts when your stop just gets nudged by a tick and the market goes back up again. Oh yes, it does. I think I hate that more than an outright loss. You know, an outright loss, at least you can take a little consolation and say, yeah, I was wrong. But when they tag you out and then go on without you, reverse and go the other way again, oh, I hate that. Looks like they're still debating here. Still, like I said, we're retracing a lot of the same numbers. bet if we took an average of the numbers that are there right now, we're probably trading right where the hard edge is showing, around the 77.20 zone. Visually, had a little trend line thing going on there. It's going to be a pretty shallow trend line. Yeah, I don't think that's coming into play anytime soon. This now, the reaction to the trend line break, that is a shortable signal, by the way. If we believe the market be in a sideways trading range since the open, which is right here. We know there's sellers up here. We know there's buyers down here. It's not the way I like to trade, but it is doable. Yeah, Aspen asking, Eric, any suggestions how to trade big swings other than staying on the sidelines? Well, this is one strategy you can use right here. Is as the market approaches the top third or top quarter of the trading range, you can look for an opportunity to reverse. And this would just be short term, so you could look to take any sell signal. So we got a sell signal that's buried right there. You can't see it very well, but there's a signal to short right there. There's a sell signal right here on the Falcon. Don't have a sell signal on the Hawk yet, although you could short below that red bar buy signal. You should, if this is your strategy, you should really tighten your profit target. Anywhere from $50 to $100. If you're able to pull that out of the market, just grab it and go. The thing with trading ranges is you get so many of the fake breakouts. If the market continues higher, it will test the top end, and there will be a whack of buyers, people waiting to buy the breakout. There's quite a few in a whack, by the way. And likewise here to the short side, you will have a whack of sellers. Problem is, there'll be a whack, perhaps a bigger whack of sellers up there and a bigger whack of buyers down here. This is what leads to the fake breakout, where all these pikers buy in and then the sellers stomp on them, force the market back down. Their stops get hit. Likewise, the market breaks to the short side. The big boys come back, buy the market back up, and stop out the small trader. This is why the best strategy, and all it requires is patience, is to let the market break out, retest, and then look for that evidence that the market will either continue higher or that it can't continue higher, and then you can short it. Once this little scenario happens, we've got the market in a bind. And whether by design or just that's the way it is, the market has tipped it, like I say, tipped its hand, worked itself into a bit of a tight corner. and that allows us to take advantage. But really, the best thing to do is to wait. I guess the smaller trader you are, the smaller your account, the more time you should spend waiting. Because you can't afford very many losses. I've always been of the opinion when the market goes sideways, it probably has a greater chance to decline than rally. All things being equal. That means, you know, no preceding trend or anything of that nature. The market seems to have its own type of gravity. Yeah, Aspen writes, it's good that Trade Manager keeps me from taking big risk over 2%. And that's key. You know, the Trade Manager on Ninja 7, the trade calculator here on Ninja 8, being able to limit your risk, you have no idea how important that is to your trading survival. Okay, so you take a bad trade. This risk amount is an amount I can afford to lose. You know, it's like losing 20 bucks out of your wallet. Okay, you're annoyed, but is it going to ruin you? And that's the key. So many traders play fast and loose with their risk, and then they wonder why they can't make any money or why they're blowing up their accounts all the time. Yeah. uh, Aspen, do you live near Saskatchewan? You're right south of Saskatchewan, got hammered by snowfall, but you don't miss that. No, I don't. I grew up in central Alberta, and apparently they got snowed on as well. Oh, you're from Edmonton. Wow. I was born and raised in Leduc. We're practically neighbors. Yeah, Leduc. He writes Leduc is our LA, Leduc, Alberta. We always used to say where it oil began, because that was where the first drilling rigs were set up. All right, we're going to test the top end now. Yeah, see, now this makes me wonder, is the trading range off these highs or off this high? Well, it looks like it's not going to matter. It looks like we're going to get a chance here. All right, so this is the breakout. Slight as it is, we'll look for the retest. Oh, we do have a number one signal. All right, maybe we'll hop on board that number one signal. Getting in a little bit late, but market seems to have maybe an upward bias. Come on, you guys, you started so well. There we go. Get the trade up to break even now. Aspen writes, I wish Adam would come up with a trail based on the cloud line. You can approximate that, Aspen. If you're, I know you're using Ninja 7, so I'll tell you how to do it with the trade manager. You'll have like a dozen different moving average strategies to choose from. One of them you'll be able to make it approximate the cloud. These are custom moving averages developed by Indicator Warehouse, so they're not something that you're going to find off the shelf, but that doesn't really matter if you're just using it to trail a stop. You could use a simple moving average, something that will approximate it, and you can use that as your trailing stop. Now here with the trade calculator, I'm going to try something here. Oop, that's not what I want. If I go stop on Indy and I hold my shift key, will it select it? No, it's not going to do it. So I'd have to do the same thing. So let's say we find ourselves a moving average line. There we go, simple moving average, and we'll just, I don't know, let's throw a 50 in there. We'll make it a little bit fatter. Let's see, how does that play out? Looks like it might be a little bit fast, but it'll be good enough to prove the point. All right, so I'm not going to take the time to tweak with this, but looks like you could play with the numbers a little bit, and then when you go to your trade calculator, you left click to select stop on indicator, you hold your shift key, and look at that. Now your trade calculations will all be based on your moving average line that you have selected. Pretty cool, huh? The only difference, of course, with the trade calculator is that the trade needs to be managed manually. Now, there is one day I'm going to have to brush up on my ATM strategies. There is a way that you can make the chart trader auto trail your stops as well. And if you don't want to wait for me, there is a whole slew of videos online teaching you how to do just that. All right, so we've had one successful trade and one unsuccessful trade. And for the short term, I would say we've got an uptrend. Long term, of course, different story. Let's go back again. If this is our range, Well, we've just had the breakout. This now is the retest. And you got to give the market a little bit of fudge room here, right? It's not going to hit the breakout zone exactly. That would be too easy. But now that we know the upper limit of the buyers, we can put our just in case order to buy up there. And if we can get a couple of bull bars without seeing the market drift all the way back here inside the trading range, then we'll see where the limit of the sellers is, and we will be able to frame a trade accordingly. Aspen asks, can you have the ATM strategies working when you have your trade manager? No, because the trade manager actually works on top of the ATM strategies. But here with Ninja 8, you will need to do that. You'll need to use the ATM strategy. Okay, here we go. We got the market in a bind. Now, it's a long ways to wait for an entry here. We may get a better signal in the meantime, and I might even entertain that. Now, depending how aggressive you want to be on this trade, it is possible to adjust your entry points as the market makes smaller and smaller ranges. The better entry still above this high. But what we're essentially witnessing is another breakout, another retest. I'm going to set profit orders here. All right, getting a slightly more bearish tone. Okay, the Hawk pretty neutral. The Falcon struggling a little bit. We did get a counter trend signal here on the Raptor. Okay, so here we now have two bullish bars. So once again, I could, depending how aggressive I want to be with the market, I could roll that up a little bit. The good thing about getting an early entry is it makes it a little bit easier to get your profit as well. Sometimes delaying that entry means the market has to work just a little bit harder. All right. Let's see if the buyers got any giddy up left. It's not looking very promising here at the moment. They poked just high enough to find my entry and then decided to take a breather. This is the trade-off, when you try to get more aggressive with the market. Come on, you guys and girls, just a little bit. All right, this is the last chance for the buyers now. Pardon me. If they break this little swing low right here, it will attract a few more buyers. Aspen asking, have you heard of Top Step Trader funding? Oh yes, they've been around for a while. They are perhaps the largest of the outfits that will fund traders. It's a very interesting proposition. For those of you unfamiliar with Top Step Trader, they have what's called a trading combine, and what that means is they will pay you to trade their money. Now, wait a minute before you get all excited. They have very tight trading parameters. But it's their sandbox. You got to play by their rules. We have had a few owners, or more than a few owners actually, go on and pass the trading combine. And if I remember correctly, if you pass, they let you keep 80% of the earnings, something like that. But as is in the world of trading, you're only as good as your last trade. So if you start to incur a few losses, they'll pull your funding. All right, it looks like they're going to tap me out on this one as well. That's the problem, getting too aggressive with your entry. See, had I left my entry up there, I would have been fine. And had I left my order to sell down here, I would be fine. In fact, let's even take a look at potentially reversing on this. If the market breaks down now, tags me out, there's a very good possibility it's going to try to go back to the bottom end of the trading range. Oh, nice. Aspen says he's going to start with them tomorrow, Top Step Trader. Well, good luck to you. They've had me on their program a few times in the past. Oh, one more chance, it looks like. All right, if we can break this little swing high here around the 77.40 area, I will become much more aggressive with my stops. We're getting a fair amount of waffling here. All right. Come on. There we go. Got the trade to break even. So now we're contending with this swing right here. I may be a little bit quick with the stop, given that I've waited this long, but I don't really want to get tagged out for another loss. So here we go. So I'm going to start to squeeze the trade pretty hard now. Hooray. Okay, well, that worked out very well. Gotta like it when that happens. So even if I had waited to take the breakout up here, I'd still have the opportunity now to get this trade at least to a break-even proposition, or looks like I would have had enough in there to take a swing target. It just goes back to watching and waiting. I don't know why it's so hard for us to wait in our world of instant everything. Yeah, in our world of instant everything, imagine that. People have a hard time waiting for things. now they put on the brakes again. All right. All right, well, we did get a little test of the extreme here. I'm surprised we didn't get a number 2 signal on the trend change here in the Raptor. We do have a trend change here on the Falcon as well. Things starting to get maybe a little toppy. You wouldn't expect after a breakout for the market to stall already. And yet, here we are. Back to the same level. Okay, well, we're going to get an early cloud crossover signal here on the Raptor. If it continues lower, we're going to get just your basic trend line touch signal on the Falcon. Come on, where are you? Where's my warning dot? Where's my signal? Hold on, Scott. Scott's asking if Mark's hanging out in the room. Mark's been kind of quiet lately. No, he's not here today. He was here the other day. Yes, he's turned into a lurker. He used to post all the time comments and share about his trades and stuff, and now he's a lurker. Okay, so this is my early cloud crossover signal, as the clouds are not fully crossed, but they're close enough in my mind. And it's a bit of a judgment call. As the clouds fully cross over here, we're going to get a proper number 1 signal developing. And as we near the bottom of the hour, just a reminder for those of you who didn't hear me at the beginning, I've got to head out of town, and there's not going to be a trading room for the remainder of the week. Sorry about that. I'm so busy. Scott says, anywhere fun? No, not really. It's a little bit more business minded. But I'll try to sneak some fun in. Maybe get a little golf in. Come on, you guys. Yeah. Scott says golf is always a good excuse to drink beer. I always used to tease a fishing friend of mine. I would tell him that fishing is only an excuse to drink beer before noon, and he would come back and he would say, "What do you think golf is?" Oh yeah. I guess he got me on that one. All right, here we go. Oh, come on. I could adjust my stops a little bit here. All right, last chance for the buyer, or pardon me, the sellers. Well, I guess last chance for the buyers as well. All right, if I can take out this little low right here, that would be a great excuse to get the trade to break even. +2. My break even +2 ticks. Oh, come on. You can do it. Come on, somebody just push on through that low. Look at that. They're tagging that. What number is that? 77.32 They've tagged it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Working on number 6. Oh, they're going to go for it. Here they go. Watch this. You stinkers. Here, we'll help them down. If you grab the price bar with your mouse and move it lower. Uh-oh. I'm pushing it the wrong way. Oh, really? That's not right. They're supposed to head lower. All right, well, we finally got that number one signal. Come on. You know you want to. Yeah. Scott says, watch this is what you hear right after someone says, hold my beer. Come on. I got to get below 77.32. Wow. They just keep pushing back from that 77.32 zone. I'm not going to be able to hang out here for too much longer. I got to get packing. But again, a reminder, no trading room for the remainder of the week. My apologies. I will see you. Hold on a second here. I got to check the calendar. Oh, well, I guess I'll see you on next Monday. All right, everyone. Be careful out there. I'll see you a week from now. Talk to you then. Bye for now.